Welcome to the Front Seat Life podcast. This is Jessica Butts, your host and CEO and creator of Front Seat Life, where I help you be unapologetically who you are in your life, love, and business. Happy freaking New Year, Front Seat Lifers! Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It is definitely my favorite time of year. It is a new year. It is a new decade. It is 2020, people. 2020. It is the very, very beginning of my second year as well. This is a very exciting episode for me. We are going to be bringing you all kinds of new and exciting things this year. Awesome interviews, doing a bunch of relationship stuff. As you see, I've kind of rebranded and I've gone into this whole Jessica Kick Butts thing because I believe in truth telling. I believe in not beating around the bush. I do not believe in ethereal talk. I believe in straight shooting, telling it like it is, helping people really unbelievably up-level their life and business and their love and their relationships. And so this is what I'm here to do. I'm super, super excited. Welcome to the new year. And today's episode is one of my favorite tools. So I've been giving you lots of my favorite tools, and this week is no different. And I figured this is pretty much the best possible way that I can imagine to help you guys start the new year, which is doing an exercise I like to call the core values. So I did not create this. I'm going to be honest, I don't know who created this. I learned about it when I was a therapist, soon after therapy school. I call it my master's degree in counseling. I learned about this exercise and I have been obsessed with it since. Absolutely, completely obsessed with it since. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it today, but you've got to go get the download. So today's episode is jessicabutts.com/core values. jessicabutts.com/core values. Go get your core values exercise. I give you the directions and beautiful, cute little cards with all the core values on them. And so the idea is these core values become a barrier, if you will, or a guidepost or a bubble or whatever you want to think about it, a shield for what you allow into your life during this year. I will say my theme words change every year, but my core values have actually not changed since I got divorced, which is really interesting to me. And I believe so strongly in the power of these core values that I want everybody to do them. That's all there is to it. I want you to do it with yourself. And then any partner, kids, anybody. My dear friend, Lisa Fisher, she does this with her family, her entire family. She has three grown kids. Sorry, Lisa, I just gave you another child. 3 grown kids and her wonderful husband, Mike. And they do this as a family between Christmas and New Year's. Obviously, today is only the 2nd. And so it's certainly not, actually it's the 3rd. It's not that late to do this. But this is an amazing way to start a new year, is to determine what your core values are. And again, treating them as if they are the barrier for what you allow in. So I will tell you a couple of mine. One of mine is love. I mean, that's just a given. Like everything, if I don't feel loved, or if it doesn't have love around it, or people aren't feeling loving towards me, I just don't do it. I just don't do it. If I don't get to have a sense of feeling like I get to be powerful, I don't do it. So I think I'm going to be very transparent about this throughout the year as I'm about to write Love Me for Who I Am, by the way. By the way, everybody, stay tuned. This is also another backslash for you. So the Front Seat Squad is now free. I've been doing it for 3 freaking years, 3 years as a paid group, and I've realized I just wanted to switch it up this year, and it is now a free group. It's called the Front Seat Squad, so it's jessicabutts.com/squad, and go get yourself in there, because the book that has been in me, it's actually, today is December 24th. It's Christmas Eve while I'm recording this episode, the morning of, it's 8:17 a.m. if you care. I have been rereading my journals the last couple of days. I set aside these days to do this, and it's real eye-opening, people. It's real eye-opening. And one of the things that I have realized is this gosh darn book, Love Me for Who I Am, has been in me for about 2.5 years. I started the journals with what I learned from 2018. So that was very, very interesting, realizing that the beginning of 2019, I was rereading things in 2018, which means that was like 2.5 years ago that I was still talking about this book. So all of that being said, I am going to start giving the book content in the squad. So you have to be in the squad. I'm not going to lie. I'm over doing Facebook lives to people who don't care. You gotta care. And it doesn't hurt my feelings. I've just learned through many years of being in business that people got to have some skin in the game. They got to show some interest. And so that is what the squad is for. You can get in there. You know, we've got some rules and things. Obviously, only cool people are in there. You got to fill out a quick little survey, but that's really just for the safety of the group, to make sure that, you know, we're not letting bots in or crazy people or weirdos. Like, you got to take 5 seconds out of your life to fill this little survey out to get in the group. And I'm going to be sharing all of that content, which is really all about this personality type stuff. Over the last couple of years, I've heard literally nonstop from my clients that of all the things I talk to them about, their business and growing it and leveraging and how to, you know, do social media and message your message, all the business stuff, everybody only wants to talk about this. Or they say that the personality type stuff, the front seat life content, the front seat, back seat, the where you go under stress, introversion and extroversion, all the Myers-Briggs stuff that I teach, that to almost everybody, the codependency, all of this stuff is the most powerful things that they have learned. So I'm no dummy. I love this work too. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. My clients love it. I keep hearing from you guys. So again, I'm not an idiot. I know that this is what you guys are dying for, in addition to the relationship content. So I think probably the question I get more than anything right now is how do I navigate, now that I know this about myself, now that I understand my innateness, I understand my personality type, I understand my front seat and back seat and where I go under stress and all the things. How do I put this to practice in relationships? Whether that be my intimate relationship with my partner or my kids, or in business. You know, I'm going to speak a couple times this year, but I think my first speaking gig is early February. And that's exactly what they wanted me to do. I came last year and lovingly, they were blown away by what I had to say. They asked me back, but now they're like, can you talk about how this stuff, this Myers-Briggs stuff, what you came up with, your take on it, the front seat, back seat, like how that relates to business. So that's it. That's what I'm going to be doing primarily, as far as I can see, this entire year. I'm going to be bringing couples on to the podcast to talk about some of their differences and what it's like for them. I'm going to be sharing about all of the attunement and all of the differentiation, all of how we are with other people and how we are with ourselves, putting our own oxygen mask on first, all the things. So that was a very, very long explanation. I'm sorry. I realize I got away from core values pretty intensely there, but this is all to say that I will be in the Front Seat Squad giving this content. It's the only place I will be giving it until I create my beautiful, beautiful course coming in April or June. Stay tuned for that. And then the book will won't be out for at least until 2020. So in the meantime, the squad is the place to get this content in addition to obviously the podcast, but different content for sure, different content. So let's go back to the core values. Again, I encourage you to go through this exercise, and I'm going to briefly tell you how to do it, but then the directions, which you're going to get when you go to jessicabutts.com/core values, you will get all of that. They're beautifully drawn up and very clear. But there's going to be about 4 to 5 different sections, or stages is a better word to use, different stages that you're going to go through to get you to your core values. So stage 1 is going to be laying all of the words out. I believe there's 37 of them. And you may do this with your partner. You might do it by yourself. I mean, maybe you're single and you would only do it by yourself. You might do it with your best friend. You might do it with your somewhat adult children. I would say this is probably appropriate for 15, 16 and up. Lay them all out, and you're going to have a huge pile in front of you. The first step is I want you to go through these, and I'm not going to, do this in huge detail because you probably don't have your core values yet. But stage 1 is you're going to have, and maybe replay this when you're going to sit down to do it. You have all of the words in front of you. And I want you to just simply start with a yes pile on the left, not stack, open. Like, don't stack them. You want to see the words. So you're going to lay them out. Yes, these are my core values. I don't know in the middle, and on the right are hard no's. So everybody asks all the questions. Just do it. You will figure it out as you go along. Just do it. When you're done with the first stage or first round, I want you to pay attention to what the no's are. I want this to be a mindful exercise. So mindfully look at the no's without judgment, if possible, and say, why are these not my core values? And who cares if they're not your core values? You might have, who knows? Maybe you did it hardcore and there's 30, or there might be 3 over there. But why are these not? And it doesn't matter, and move on. Okay? Now, stack them, move it to the side. They are not your core values, but be mindful about it. Look at them, acknowledge it, say, no, these are not mine. Now you're going to have still a whole bunch of them in front of you, likely, of yeses and maybes. Just keep them where they are. I want you to start again with the yes, maybe, and no pile with this filter in mind. Which of these are shoulds? Whoo, how many of you just went, oh, damn, snap, girl. I know. Every time I've ever done it, the whole room goes, oh, shit. That was a big one. So which of these are shoulds? I should have a core value of patience. I should have a core value of love. I should have a core value of security. Shoulds. Should. Bullshit. Should. Where do these shoulds come from? Your parents, family of origin, your spouse, your work, your friends, society. Who's telling you that these are shoulds? This isn't about them. It's about you. And you want to talk about like stage 1 of getting down to who you are, which is what I'm going to walk you through this entire year on the podcast, but most certainly in January. So buckle up. I've got some killer episodes coming up with Susan Hyatt, Sarah Dean, Nadia Aarons, like some really badass people, women in particular. So what are the shoulds? And now do the whole exercise again. What are yeses? Still, I don't knows, maybes, I don't knows in the middle, and the ones on the right. The ones on the right now, the no's, are going to even feel more powerful because you've just straight up said this is a should, and I'm not participating anymore. Okay, that's round 2. Round 3. Drum roll, please. Now, I want you to imagine that as you are doing this, get rid of the no's. I forgot about that. Get rid of the no's, say goodbye, be mindful, get rid of them. Now you're left with less. You're probably down to maybe half. You might still have more than half, but about half will be left. Now I want you to go through this with the filter of what gets me up in the morning. Like you as a human being, not your job, not your spouse, not anybody, not your kids even. You. What of these words fire you up so much that it gets you out of bed in the morning? Sorry, you can hear me pounding on my desk right now. I'm so fired up. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What is the thing that super duper fires you up? Do it again. What are your yeses? What are your still I don't knows? And what are your no's? Without judgment, if possible. Look at them, get rid of them, move them on. Okay, if you're doing this live, like pause, because we're going to go into the last one. So I want you to look down now. You should have less. You should have, I don't know, I hope 15 or less at this point. So you might need to filter this through a little bit. Why are you holding on to these maybes? What's going on with the maybes? Just ask yourself that. What's going on with these? Which of these can you move over without judgment and get rid of them? Okay, now, this is where, if you're doing this by yourself, there's one way to do this. And if you're doing it with a friend, a partner, your husband, wife, spouse, whatever, kiddos, whoever, I want you now to only have one pile. It should be a yes pile. Now, I want you, if you're doing this with somebody else, for them to lean across the table and start to pull that word away. If you're by yourself, you can still do this energetically. Pull it away. And if it feels like someone is taking part of who you are away from you, you feel like if you have a somatic and visceral response to want to slap their hand, you get to keep it. If they pull it away and you're like, I don't really care. It's not that important to me. Just keep going. Get rid of it. Move it on. Put it over there. Just don't let it come back. You've made your decision somatically. Your body just told you. So sometimes our head and our heart cannot answer things for us. Do you guys know that? Sometimes your head is too heady and your heart is either broken or confused or whatever. Your body will always tell you the truth. So if you have a somatic response to that of, I want to slap your hand away, they'll slap their hand away. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Okay. So you should now have, this was my hope for you, 6 or less, maybe 7, but definitely less than 8. Definitely less than 8. So some people get down to like 2. That does not happen very often. I had a client years ago have 2, and I was like, damn girl, that's like clear. I have 5. And so somewhere between 4 and 7, it would be ideal, I think. I now want you to get to those words, look down at them, and is that you? Is anything missing? Ask yourself this next question. Are you proud of this person? Are you proud of her? Him? And are you living in alignment with who this person is? Are you living to these core values? And if not, go back and listen to last week's episode on December 26, 2019, the powerful visualization exercise. And these 2 episodes are very powerful in helping you learn how to set boundaries and what is important to you. The problem is most people don't do either one of these. They just live 5 minutes in front of their face. They're reactive. They let their life happen to them. They don't choose. This exercise, this core values exercise, is a form of clarity. It's a form of proactivity. It is a form of putting your feet in cement and saying, this is who the fuck I am in the world. And now you get to decide if you want a part of this. And I get to decide if you get to be a part of this, not the other way around. We're so reactive in our lives. And this episode and this exercise is step one in really helping you get clear about this is what I want in my life. These are my core values. And if other things come into my life, like if you're dating or you're doing job interviews or you're meeting new people or you have business opportunities, if they don't allow you to feel these ways and be this way in your life, you don't fucking do them. End of story. You just don't do them. This will change your life. This will change your life. You will feel so much more proactive. I mean, quite honestly, there's a lot of people in this world, I am not one of these people, that have trouble making decisions. If you want a new decision-making tool, this is it. This will help you. Don't ask your friends. Don't do the thing. Look at your core values and ask yourself, does this decision line up with my core values? If the answer is no, you just get to move on with all the confidence in the world. All right, guys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I am so excited to bring all this stuff to you. Like so excited. It just makes me a little bit crazy. I'm so excited. So happy New Year. Do this exercise. Get your butt in the squad. And I will also say, once you get in the squad, there is a post. You can type in core values and post your core values there. We all do this as a community. And so my amazing assistant, Stephanie, has posted something in there about core values. And I would love to see what those are. All right, you guys, Happy New Year. And I can't wait to see you next week and for the next 52 weeks. From the bottom of my heart, truly, thank you so much for listening. I know that you have a ton of options, and the fact that you are taking time to listen to the Front Seat Life podcast means absolutely everything to me. If you're interested in learning more about the Front Seat Life way of life in the community, there's a couple ways that you can do that. First is always starting with your personality assessment tool. It's available on my website at jessicabutts.com. It's totally free, and it will help you figure out your personality type so you'll have some idea of what we're talking about. Next is, if you're interested in hiring me for a keynote or some coaching or strategy days or the fabulous and amazing Front Seat Life community, you can find out all about all of that at jessicabutts.com. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.